So whenever I stare at my channel longfully at night, looking at the fact that it's been over a month since I recorded, I think, you know, I could be a Power Rangers YouTuber. And then I actually think about it, and I'm like, maybe not. So here's the next best thing.
There's a light in the distance. See them coming closer.
We got best boy Xiaomon up here. He gives plus 1k, but it really kind of matters a lot in this deck because it makes it so Ragemon can actually swing over a reasonable amount of things. It makes it so Flamedramon swings over everything that isn't to level 6, and it makes it so Magnamon trades or blocks over most 5 or lower, so that's pretty fucking pogs. Upamon's here just because straight up we needed a 5th egg, and frankly he's the best general use blue egg, if not incredibly conditional in OTK format, like unless your opponent plays like a Searcher rookie, like this bitch ain't doing shit. Jamming V, Kool-Aid Man smashes his way through our fucking opponent's nightmares and security with a hearty yet sensual oh yeah. Draw V is here to hold our hands and ensure us that RNGesus will not spoon feed us an unhealthy amount of bricks. It's his mother's recipe, but it still tastes like shit. Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. I shouldn't have to explain to you why searchers are good. Plenty of other YouTubers have bashed your dicks in enough about this topic. Lydramon is my special little man who suspends blockers, bullies floodgates, gives us access to green, sends us cards on Hanukkah even though he doesn't celebrate, he drives our kids to school, he doesn't flirt with our girlfriends even when left alone with her. He's just the best. God, I love that man. And Flamedramon is an armor. I mean, I guess it's a beat stick, but in a you left the stick in the rain too long, and yeah, you can still use it, but it'll definitely break if you hit something too hard kind of way. It's a better Red Rocket target than Lydra, I guess. Magnamon is the Kool-Aid Man's best friend, unsuspending, getting swole as shit, blocking like this motherfucker is the ultimate Chad Von Goldencock, like this bitch does everything. This is Giga Chad, the natural evolution of a Chad, and for the low price of 3 memory, you too can become a Giga Chad. For real though, this card lets us take the OTK meta, grab it by the balls, and tell it no. Lobo is the classic L plus ratio, and god I love his Jedi fursona having ass. DeathX is also here because, well...
Checking 4 of your security at 14, 15.
Sure. 15. I mean, also he's good for the mirror and when decks try to go wide against you, but I mean, come on! Davis and Ken lets us use and abuse the Armor Purge mechanic. Aw, what's that? Did an armor die in security? That's okay, buddy. Here you go. You can try again. Kool-Aid V loves this Respect Armor's juice too because we get to oh yeah! Our opponent's security and then we just get back up and do it again. Davis puts us to 3 and does a silly little Searcher V impression. The Red Rocket gives Armor Sec +1 and helps us outpace decks that we're racing. Which is all of them. Hammer Spark is like the Chekhov's gun of blue. Your opponent flips a blue egg and you know it's coming. It's just a question of when. The memory boost cards are like the byproduct of a hate fuck between Hammer Spark and Davis, and I mean if we play both of those we might as well play its deformed child, right? Alright, let's see. Shooting out the spike chain, Mega Death Tether, something. Let's get into some gameplay. So you might be thinking, Bepsi, don't you need to have friends to play Digimon with? Pff, duh, I know that. Fucking watch this shit.
Voicemail.
So the main crux of the deck is the Leomon X antibody in order to digivolve over the Leomon, which then you can create this Leomon rush style of deck. Bepsi, how many times have I told you, man? Don't call me.
Hello? Who is this? Dorian. Bepsi? I don't... How'd you get this number? Nobu's friend. Oh, are you the scaled down Skrillex looking guy? No, I think I think that's the. You look like Jack Sparrow has put an MS Paint and shrunken down to 75%. Don't call me. We're not friends. No, just because you know Nobu doesn't mean that. Lose my number. Don't, hey, stop. You're not as handsome as you think. Bye. He totally is as handsome as he thinks.
Alright, Kitty Winks, we're starting off with a little bit of Amelga gameplay. I say this casually as if my opponent didn't just start off with the fucking nuts out here. Homeboy's got Gabu into Blue Mem Boost, which is just the ideal turn 1 for any OTK deck. He ends up grabbing EX Gabu, which is just, you know, the on swings, grab another Gabu. We Evo in the back to Searcher V, and then Windmill Slam a Davis Ken, trying to throw him to 1 to kind of limit the things he can do this turn. But he just raises up, give us the bird, and plays fucking Gabu X. And then on top of that, he gets 2 hittable targets, 2 very good hittable targets at that, in Wergarumon and X Antibody. And then he just kind of goes in for a swing here because he knows he has the rookie that he added. He hits into a Magna, which is really fucking unfortunate because at this point we have 0 armors in hand, and that would have been a really good one to have. And then he just passes his turn with Hero. We raise up, go to 4 from Davis and Ken, and then we play our own little funny little Mum Boost. We kind of hesitate here for a bit because it's like we know we need the armor, but Lobo's furry sexual self is just kind of calling to my greed. We end up taking the armor like smart people because, I mean, like I said, we need the armor, and then we just kind of Evo to the armor to pass turn. I apologize for the glare. It's a new recording setup, and I try to fix it when I can, but it's not. When I'm playing these games, I'm not really looking at the footage as much as I probably should be. That turn, he just kind of Evos Gabu into Garurumon X into Wergarumon, which is terrifying. We start the turn, we Evo in the back, and then swing into his Garurumon X, and then Purge, which is terrifying, but also good that we have that Davison can, so we just Evo into another one, swing again, and then just kind of hope that this one doesn't die, which it does not, thankfully. And we end up passing the turn by playing, basically at this point we would want to have a Magna X to prevent him from being able to do his level 5 swings, but we don't have it. So we just end up playing a Mem Boost and grabbing the Magna here to hope that he doesn't kill us this turn so we can potentially protect ourselves next turn. He was going to raise up, he's going to yet again give us the bird and play a fucking ADP, which is at this point our only hope. Was him hitting an option. He's gonna suspend Hero to make it so his dude's bigger. He's gonna unsuspend Wergarumon, then use the Gabu effect to search for a Gabu, and then lament about the fact that he just bot decked full line. He's just gonna hit into a V. He'll throw under the X Antibody option, swing again, use the X Anti option to Evo into Wergaru X to bounce our dude, and just totally sweep through our entire fucking security. Like, this man has no shame. He's going to Evo into Metal Garurumon from EX set. Holy shit. That's 1 less for every 4 cards in his hand, which he has 8 cards in the hand, which he explained it, but it doesn't go through, and then he just takes up the last of our security. And at this point, we're kind of shitting ourselves because if he has Magnex or Omni, we're just dead. And we kind of notice it takes a little while to do his finishing turn, and we kind of started to think, does he not fucking have it? He pops the Mem Boost and then just plays a rookie, and we're like, holy shit, we fucking lived. And he's just gonna grab a Wergaru X. There's too many X's in this fucking format. I find myself just kind of tripping over like X, you know, like some kind of fucking Pornhub special. We're gonna raise up, go to 2 after he tried to choke us at 1, and kind of just panicked because he's got about 1 million different ways that he can lethal us. We end up counting out our armors. We pop one of the Mem Boosts just to see how big this Magna Chad Dong is gonna be, which is pretty fucking huge. And we swing over his Melga, trying to force him to purge sources, so that when we go into this Giga Chad here, he can't do so safely, so he can't just like discard sources and, you know, whatever. He's going to Evo in the back and basically just spend this entire turn just searching for a way to finish me off, because the biggest issue that this deck has with Magna X is that most of their things can't swing through it. None of their level 5s can deal with it. Basically, their only like actual answer for it is if they were to go like Hero Swing, which they can't because of the Magna boost here, or just whatever. But even then, like in this case, like he's just going to, the Magna X is just going to end up going into our security, so he can't lethal us from there. Plus, because we unsuspended with the Davis Ken, we have the unsuspended Magnamon underneath. He's going to just end up passing the turn after a failed attempt of searching. He's going to Hammer Spark into Garurumon to put us to 1. We end up going to 2. Evo into the Kool-Aid Man Smash. We're going to bust through with our Magnamon and hit Garurumon X. And then just say fuck your level 6, and we're going to Mega Death that because we just don't want to risk him having, like, drawing into the line. He's just going to evolve all the way back up, do some horrifying things. He can't do anything with the level 5, thankfully, because of Magnamon X being too swole of a Chad. Giga Chad, if you will. And he's just gonna spend this turn. He's gonna pop the Mem Boost to go to 2, so that he evos to the Metal Garurumon that we bounce back to his hand for 2, keeping turn, so in case he does draw something kind of spicy here. But he's going to attach the X antibody and attempt to swing at our security. We just redirect the damage to the Magnax. He's going to draw for the Garurumon. And we're just going to redirect, add to security. He's still suspended because we swung with it. So we're kind of in a precarious situation if he did draw it, but it doesn't look like he did. So we're still pretty good here. He's gonna just Evo in for 1 to just put us on as little memory as possible, so we can hopefully not finish him this turn. But we're going to pop the Mem Boost in case of Sparks. We're going to swing Jamming, Kool-Aid Man Smash through his second Metal Garurumon X, swing with Magna, play around that Ice Wall like a fucking champ, and then you can't see it, but you voted into Raid unsuspended with Davis Ken and beat him for game. Alright, motherfuckers, we are out here playing against Metal Greymon X Antibody, which I personally feel is really underrepresented. I feel like the deck can do some crazy shit, but we end up going first. We just go Draw V into Flamedramon, which is a really solid start for us. But apparently he was taking notes from the fucking Melga player, because he just goes Rookie Mem Boost, and we're like, ah, shit. So we just kind of chip in, hit into a second Mem Boost, and we're like, well, that's not good. So we play a Davis Ken. And then this man looks us in the eye and says, play third Mem Boost. And we're like, well, what the fuck? We're just boned. And he ends up having the Greymon and just evoing in the back to pass turn, putting us at 2. We'll end up going to 3 from the Davis Ken. And we're kind of just panicking as to what we to do. We end up fire rocketing, swinging, drawing off of the Vmon, and hitting into 2 pretty cheap things. So we're all good. We evo in the back and then play a Searcher, grabbing the Magna X. And kind of just praying we don't totally get our asses clapped here. He's gonna pop, gain 6 memory, putting to 7. He's an Evo to Greymon for 3, and then Evo to Greymon Alterius mode, and then Evo to Greymon X Antibody. I hate this fucking deck. And then he's going to fuck up his memory, because, I mean, it's an easy mistake to make, and then he's going to go into Metal Greymon X. We kind of talk about how he fucked up his memory, and he's going to swing 2 checks at 18k, hit basically nothing, and then a 15k, which unfortunately this does not go like the funny bit at the beginning. At that point, he's just making sure his effects don't trigger there. And then he's just gonna say fuck it and go into Omnimon X Antibody, and we're like, well, shit. So for those of you who don't remember, basically he can just discard sources to negate our attacks, which is kind of a fucking problem. So we're just kind of like, alright, time to just aggress, I guess. We go into Lie for a little bit of extra security. We swing, hit nothing. We swing again, and he's going to decide to take out 2 sources to prevent that attack. And then we're just going to swing with the rookie to see if he takes it or not. He takes it and ends up killing our rookie, which is super fine. We're going to get that Chad juice on top of Lydramon, and then suspend the Davis Ken to unsuspend, and attempt to swing into security again. He's going to have to take out 2 sources so that he doesn't just die here. And at this point, we're in a pretty good position because he can't kill any of our 1 bodies, because if he chooses to pop the Magnamon, he's not going to be able to take out any of our bodies because they have armors underneath. And if he pops the flame and tries to swing over it, which he does here, we can just redirect the swing into the Magnamon. So we still have both of our bodies, and he's going to need like another spell or effect to basically deal with our bodies, which it doesn't look like he has. He just plays the Searcher to grab the Greymon the Metal Greymon that he wishes he had earlier, the one that prevents security options, and then he's going to Evo into X Antibody, get a little more searches in, grab the X Antibody option and another one, and then he's going to Evo his Omni into another Omni because it's got that funny little text that says Evo from a Digimon with Omni in its name for 3. Basically just buying him an extra swing. So we're going to swing Lie, attempt for lethal. He's going to trash 2 sources, swing Lie, or swing V, and then Evo to Lie, unsuspend, and swing for game. Alright, last round. Let's fucking go. Alphamon time. Okay, so he's just gonna, hatch his egg, and without a rookie or anything to search with, he's just gonna pass turn, and we're like, okay. We'll Evo to Searcher V in the back, and then Windmill Slam at Davis. We end up adding the Magna X to put the Fear of God into him, because he saw that we bot decked that Magna, so he knows that we have one. But he's going to play out his level 4, and he's kind of just at our mercy at this point until he can build up. We play a Blue Mem Boost where we grab a Jamming Vmon just to, not like there was really any other super good options there. And we Evo to Magnus to throw him to 1. Just try and keep him on the back foot as much as physically possible, which is something I feel like this deck does really well, is just having the ability to choke. He's going to Evo into his Dorugray and throw Orumon underneath, the one that unsuspends Alpha. We're going to Evo into the V, Jamming V, Kool-Aid Man, smash motherfucker in the back. And we're going to play a Spark, Evo to Magna X, going to 0, and then swing security, hitting into Alphamon, because of course we do. And that's going to put him into our security. And we're going to kind of panic a little bit because that was kind of our whole plan. We pop the Mem Boost and just throw down a Jamming V and pray that he's gentle. We throw him to 1, and he finally finds his rookie, thank God. Poor man needed it. And he's going to Evo into Dexdoru Greymon? Dexdoru Greymon. Yeah, that's the bitch. You trash a card from your hand with X Antibody, pop a dude, gain a memory. He does some crazy shit. He swings into our armor, and then Evos to Orumon himself just to totally clear our field. And he adds a source underneath. I wrote down where that was, but I think it was a Dorumon. Yeah, he adds a Dorumon underneath. We're going to raise up, swing Jamming, and we end up hitting into Breath of the Gods. So luckily we don't have Davis Ken out, otherwise that'd be a little embarrassing. We Evo to the Lobo here just because we need to have cards in hand. And then we play a V. From what I remember, this game we were really heavy on Vs and very low on armors. So that's why we Evo'd into the Lobo there for the card draw. And he just ends up swinging over it and plays a Cool Boy. And we kinda and then this is the part where my my roommate's cat jumps on the desk because he decides that he wants to play Digimon, but he ends up evolving into a Dorugora in the back. We Evo into the dude we put up there into a Raidramon and swing security, drawing for the Vmon, hitting into Conga because this man's just got every fucking option in his entire deck, and then we just go into Giga Chad. He's going to unsuspend and then attempt to swing it the suspended body, which is to add it to the security. And this is kind of he's putting himself in a kind of awkward position here, where he's kind of valuing board clear over how massive my security is getting. But he ends up going into the Alphamon to armor purge my dude, which we don't really care about. We swing jamming here. We swing with the Vmon, which does die, but then we just have the Magnamon for game. And just like that, we're done. Overall, I think the deck has some really cute things it can do into the meta, especially if you know how to pilot it somewhat well, which isn't super hard. I'm not gonna sit here and stroke my own dick over it, but this is the deck I ended up taking to Gen Con. We got like, I think it was 17th day 1, X3 drop on day 2, and then top 32 the next 2 days. So that was pretty cool. It's definitely got its place in the meta. You just kind of have to... It's not like a tier 1 deck by any means, but it's definitely something you should prepare to fight at least once during your tournament runs or whatever events you all play in. I'd like to thank DigitamaQueen, Alex from Hoang 0, and Tyler from the GFG Boys for lending their talents to the opening gameplay bit with like all the recording, live action, whatever you want to fucking call that. I'll have them linked, if not on the screen now, then in the description, or both. Probably both. But that's it. Bye!